Okay, you guys, I got the coolest fucking thing in the entire world yesterday, and I want to bring it in here, but it's really heavy and really big. I'm gonna point my camera at the door so you guys can watch this, because why not? Alright, buddy, come on. Okay. Okay, now he's on the floor, and I need to figure out how to get him in the background of the video because he needs to be in every video for the rest of my life. I'm really out of breath. He's really heavy. Come on, buddy. Okay. Oh my god. How can we do this, buddy? You don't even fit in the frame. I just want to see your cute face. Okay, I mean, I guess this could work. Maybe you just don't get to be in the video today, buddy. Maybe you just... Okay, better than nothing, right? Well, me and my porg are back, and I have more scary stories for you guys, but not a scary story. Fuck. So a lot of you guys really seem to enjoy the Reddit short stories. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't, but I wanted to read more of them today because there's about 1 billion of them. So if you guys haven't seen the first one, I mean, you don't really have to watch the first one to understand this video, but basically I'm just gonna go through Reddit's short scary stories, and I'm gonna read you guys a bunch of them. I really wanted this to work. I underestimate his size a lot of the time. I want you to be in the video. Okay, this isn't working. All right, let's get this shit started. This one is called Dad, There's a Monster in My Closet. I woke up feeling a presence standing beside my bed, jolting me out of sleep. It was my son. It was 2:38 in the morning. Dad, there's something in my closet. I'm scared. My wife rolled over at the sound of his voice. Huh? What's wrong, honey? She said, half asleep. Closet monster, apparently, I said. Well, that's new, my wife said. Come here, honey. Your dad will check it out. Come sit on the bed next to Mommy. I got up from the bed slowly and stretched. My son slid under the covers next to my wife, and I saw her drifting back to sleep. I said to her, are you sure you don't want to come along? It may take 2 of us to take this thing down. No, you got this, babe. I believe in you, she said, with a sly smile. And if you don't make it back, well, you were a pretty good husband. I laughed and headed out of the room. My son's room was upstairs, on the opposite side of the house, so up the stairs I went, and made my way closer. The door to his room was wide open, but the closet doors, which you could see from the hallway, were closed. About 5 feet out in the hallway, I actually started to hear something from the closet. An intermittent hum. I slowed my pace a little at hearing it. My first thought was that it was perhaps a tablet or other device under a pile of clothes playing some loud noise over and over. Whether it was or not, I got a lot more cautious and picked up a bat that was laying beside my son's dresser. With the bat in hand, after a deep breath to calm down, I grabbed the knob and turned it. As the door opened, I saw that I was at least correct about the noise coming from under clothes. A huge pile was stacked in the back corner, and the noise, much louder with the door open, emanated from it. The clothes were shifting slightly as the noise rang out. With the doors open, I could tell it was a human voice. A child. I gripped the bat with white knuckle force, and I started pulling the clothes away from the pile, despite the fear and sweat bursting from me. Then I saw the source, but was impossible. It was my son, tied up with a gag in his mouth. Tears streamed down his face. His face was beet red. I ripped the gag away. He took a breath in and screamed, "It wants Mom." No! I had a feeling it was going to be the son, or I had a feeling it was going to be like the son comes into the room, but the son's also over here at the same time. I had a feeling it was going to be one of those, and I was right. You might have to leave, just saying, buddy, but you're a nice comfort. Actually, he's pretty comforting. I just feel like if something happens, he can attack, because he's, oh, okay. But I feel like more than anything, he's going to attack me. Let's move on. All right, this one's called We All Know the Story. We all know the story. You go downstairs to hear your mom calling you. She calls your name. She's in the kitchen. But then you turn and see your mom hiding in the cupboard under the stairs. Don't go in the kitchen, she says. I heard it too. It's just a silly tale. But imagine what happens next. You have to make a choice. You, a young kid, have to decide. You remember looking at your mom under the stairs. You remember her face even now, shaking with fear, her eyes wide with terror. Come here, she shouts, quickly. But then you see the mother in the kitchen. She's looking at you with a curious expression. At you, but not you. But she is tall, commanding, as if she would protect you, so you run to her. You're only 4, what else could you do? She hesitates a little, then returns your embrace, and with that, the other mom disappears. Forever. You've made your choice. You grow up having made your choice. But sometimes you wonder. Your mom looks at you, sometimes, with a strange expression, as if she doesn't know you. You only grow more distant as you reach adulthood. One day you leave to go to college, and she looks at you again, curiously, distantly. She hugs you, but only for a second before she releases you. And for the first time in your life, you allow yourself to wonder, did you really make the right choice? Did you choose the right mom? And then for the first time, you look properly into her eyes. You see for the first time what she's thinking. She's thinking the same thing. Did she choose the wrong child? What the fuck? Okay, that just fucked with my brain because I literally was just talking about these stories. What the fuck is up, Kyle? Well, see, that one just gets you thinking. All right, I want to read some of the comments. Someone said, this reminds me of an old Goosebumps book about a magic mirror, another world. The reflections want you to come through because they replace you on your side when you do. Okay, this one's called The Life of a Dispatcher. When I first became a 911 operator, I thought it was the coolest job. I'd always wanted to be a cop, but one thing kept me from doing so. I'm partially blind. I figured if I couldn't help people by protecting them from criminals, I might as well help people in the only other way I could: dispatching. I quickly realized that this job was not for the faint-hearted. The hardest calls were the ones that ended abruptly. You would sit there for the rest of the night or sometimes for a full week wondering what happened. In smaller cities, information gets passed around, and the dispatchers are usually let in on the end result of the dispatch, but for me, in a city of over 200,000 people, there are so many calls made that there's never enough time to ask the question of what happened. Mondays, Fridays, and Sundays were the busiest days. The most terrifying and unusual calls were made on those days. Here are some of the more intense phone calls I've received. Melody. 911, what's your emergency? I stayed silent for a good 30 seconds, just listening. Hello, 911, what's your emergency? I repeated. Hi. The voice of a small child whispered through the phone. Hi, sweetie, what's the problem? Mommy and Daddy won't wake up. Okay, I'm sending somebody to your address right now. It'll be about 6 minutes. What's your name? Melody. Is somebody coming right now? I'm scared. That's a pretty name. Someone is coming right now. Can you tell me what happened? Why won't Mommy and Daddy wake up? I don't know. Droopy came to visit and he wanted to talk to Mommy. Who's Droopy? I met him in the park. He's a clown. Fuck this. Where's Droopy now? He's playing hide and seek with me, but he scares me. Where are you right now, sweetie? Are you hiding from Droopy? Yes, I am, but I saw him with a knife. I'm scared. I could barely hear her. I dispatched the officers again. They were 2 minutes away. Melody, honey, they're almost there. She was breathing heavily into the phone. He's in here, she whispered into the phone, and I could hear the sound of footsteps. Okay, stay where you are, and don't make a sound. It's going to be okay, sweetheart. There you are. A voice of a man echoed through the phone, followed by a scream. The phone fell silent. I never found out what happened to Melody and whether the guy was apprehended or not. Fuck that shit. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Okay, this one's called This Story Does Not Have a Twist, and you guys know how I like my plot twists. The story does not have a twist. You won't find out that I'm really the killer at the end, because I'm telling you from the beginning, I am the killer. I'm the one who killed him. I was the one who scattered out the old man, hobbling alone while walking with my son. I was the one who wanted to follow him down the street that day. I was the one who had brought a pair of scissors along to do the killing. I was the one who followed him into the alleyway, leading my 6-year-old boy in hand. I was the one who stabbed him 36 times. I was the one who consoled my crying child. I was the one who made him promise to lie to protect me. Just believe me, this story does not have a twist. I'm a killer. This is, oh, people are replying in the comments. I just literally sat here for like 5 minutes reading comments. Somebody was like, just believe me, a masterful way to change the entire story. And somebody was like, I didn't even realize it until I read this comment. Fantastic writing. I didn't even get this at first. I literally didn't get it until I read these. And somebody commented, the father's trying to convince you that he's the one that killed the old man and should be the one to suffer the consequences. The 6-year-old stabbed the man 36 times. It helps if you imagine him telling this to the police. That is fucking insane. How do you write that well? How do you think of these things and how do you word them so... Fuck me! This is an unexpected reverse twist on a subreddit that is full of twists. Bitch, fuck me up. Okay, this one is called The Man Who Lived Upstairs, and this kind of reminds me of Annoying Neighbor. I mean, I haven't read the story yet, but the title of it reminds me of The Annoying Neighbor from my last video. When the news came on the television, I immediately dropped my spoon and stopped eating. An attempted kidnapper has been shot dead in Wayne County, the newsreader intoned. Police say a local history professor lured one of his students into his van by telling her his new puppy had stopped breathing. When his photograph appeared on screen, I felt myself retch. The assailant had been identified as this man, Professor Peter O'Malley. It was a man I knew, the man who lived upstairs. Fortunately for his potential victim, an off-duty police officer witnessed O'Malley struggling to lift the woman into the back seat and drew his concealed weapon. Beside me on the couch, my son shifted fitfully in his sleep. I turned down the volume so he wouldn't hear. Mr. O'Malley had always been so kind to him. When O'Malley drew his own weapon, the officer fired 6 rounds, killing the professor. I recalled the sirens I had heard earlier in the day. The stomping footsteps I had ignored upstairs. I hadn't known what they meant. I hadn't known there were police searching the building. I'm just glad this sicko didn't get away with his crime, said the off-duty cop. I'm just glad nobody else will suffer because of him, said the woman's husband. But they were both wrong. I poured my cereal out of the bowl and back into the bag, then placed it back in the cupboard alongside the rest of our food. Half a bag of cereal, 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of dried fruit, 2 water bottles, our only rations. I wondered if the police would come back. I wondered if they would be able to hear me, yelling from behind the false wall. behind the bookcase in Mr. O'Malley's basement. I wondered if they were still looking for me, the girl who'd gone missing 6 years ago, when I was also a 20-year-old student in Mr. O'Malley's class, who also loved puppies, who was also stupid enough to follow him into his van. I felt my son rouse behind me. "When's Daddy coming back to see us?" he asked, his stomach rumbling. I decided not to tell the truth. "Your daddy won't be coming back," I said. "He was sick. Your daddy was a very, very sick man." What the fuck did I just read? Oh my god. Oh my god. Hang on. Hang on. So she was kidnapped. And she had a fucking kid with this man? Alright, let's read one more. This one is called "They'll Never Find the Man Who Killed My Daughter." I keep expecting them to. I keep thinking that after all this time, they would have found some scrap of evidence that would lead them to him. I've imagined the day they find him so many times that when I close my eyes, I can see exactly how it'll play out. There will be a police car waiting in my driveway when I come home from work. My heart will be hammering in my chest as I step out of the car. A stone-faced police officer will come out of the house and tell me that he needs to speak with me. I'll follow him into the living room and collapse into one of the chairs while he stands over me. He'll tell me that they found him, and I won't need to ask who. I don't know how I'll react. Will I laugh knowing it's finally over? Will I cry knowing that I won't have to live another day with my secret? All I know for certain is that I will feel relief. That and the cold metal of the handcuffs as a police officer slaps them down on my wrists. But none of that has happened. Instead, I sit here, staring at a picture of my daughter and thinking about the man they will never find. The man who begged for my forgiveness when I found him. The man who cowers in my basement, waiting for me to decide what his punishment will be today. Holy, you guys have the best plot twist of all times on this fucking website. I was 100% certain that it was the dad from the beginning of the story. And literally every single comment pretty much is like, I really thought it was gonna be the dad. I give props to everybody on Reddit who submits these stories. They're absolutely insane. How do you people do this? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like my giant porg because I love my giant porg. All right, buddy. Oh, see, like, okay, look how cute it is. It's so huge and just so adorable. I love this thing more than I've ever loved anything in my entire life. I literally don't go anywhere without this now. I got it yesterday, but still. Literally, if I move rooms, I bring it with me. I drag this fucking thing everywhere in my apartment. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm actually in Iceland right now when you're seeing this. I probably should have asked you guys this before, and I'm probably gonna do it anyways, but do you guys want to see vlogs from Iceland? I kind of want to vlog more so for myself, so I can remember the trip and everything I got to see. Oh, that is a huge bug. Why are there so many huge bugs in Texas? Okay, whatever. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Ah, Jesus. Oh my god, it almost fell. Look at this man's. He literally is just, ugh, a big fatty. See ya. I hate myself.